I'm really excited about today's video because I bought via Craigslist knife battling this insane looking MSI gaming pre-built. And today we're gonna do some heinous things to it. Now, just by looking at the box, you can see that this is not your common garden gaming pre-built. I mean, look at it, it's got little ears. Although, considering that it's an MSI pre-built, it's probably gonna have at least one trouser whoopsie over the course of this video. It does have a smell. You know when you were a little kid and you'd like go to someone else's house that smelled very distinctly different to yours? It kind of has that vibe. It just smells like someone else's house, which is interesting. Oh yes, there we go. That is best PC ever. Now I'm quite conflicted by the looks of this thing because the adult in me is going, that's pretty garish. But the child in me is like, it looks like a Gundam's head. What more could you want in a PC? Although, in terms of build quality, it does do that. The front I/O is pretty standard. We've got a couple of square USB ports and a Type-C port on the front, some front audio headers, and then we've got something cool, which I haven't seen in a while, a front HDMI port for VR. Nice. Now, if we have a look at the side, you can see that the layout of this case is actually quite interesting. We have the graphics card panel here, which has a bit of mesh, and then plastic for some reason. I guess plastic covered ventilation looks more Gundam-y, I don't know. And in the base of the system, we have a surprisingly losery looking power supply, which does not bode well for what's coming later in this video. And then around the back, we have what looks like a standard MSI motherboard, which is good. And you can see that it's kind of behind the graphics card. So this is laid out kind of like a DAN case on the inside, aside from the power supply placement in the base. But with that, let's open up this very war-scarred Gundam and have a look at the insides. Now this is a GTX 1070, which means this isn't the newest pre-built, as you can probably tell by the condition of it, but it's still a very solid graphics card, and this is a really nice version. I like that they have some mesh behind the bit of perspex. You know, they gotta think about airflow in these situations. In the top of the case, we have the mandatory GPU illuminating RGB. If you have a look under the graphics card, it looks like there's some real interesting stuff going on inside Optimus Prime's head. So let's dig a bit deeper. No way. Is that an empty single laptop RAM slot on the back of the motherboard? No way. Okay, now we really need to get that graphics card out to see what's going on the other side of this motherboard. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, no way. What is this thing? So on the back of the graphics card, we have this blower style fan that is used for cooling the CPU down here. So this, I think, is an i7-7700 that we have under there, which is a quad-core CPU with these two heat pipes that run up into here, and then this fan blows heat out the back of the case. That is not a whole lot of cooling solution, if I'm honest. And then right next to that, we have the absolute holy grail of pre-built RAM configurations. A single 8 gig stick of laptop memory. Hell yeah, MSI, hell yeah. Okay, so I just spent the last 3 hours screwing to get this base loose, but hopefully we have access to the power supply now. Let's see, that comes off. It's an FSP unit, and it's 450 watts. This is not gonna go well. But before we do anything heinous to it, let's fire it up and see what kind of temperatures we get from this weird laptop-desktop hybrid. Now that is the unfortunate problem with buying a used Prebuilt, is you can't see what kind of venereal disease it's loaded down with out of the box, because this seems like it's a user Windows reinstall. Here is our 7700 and our 8 gigs of laptop RAM running at 2400 megahertz. Let's have a look at the gaming performance. Starting off, that GTX 1070 is only sitting at about 40% utilization. Now the CPU is higher than that. It's about 63% utilization, which means, say it with me kids, we have a bottleneck going on and we can only guess what it is, right? Now granted, there's not much power draw going on, but those temperatures are really surprising. That's actually pretty impressive. Now in all fairness, considering the CPU utilization, which briefly jumped to 90%, the RAM configuration may not be the only problem we have here, but we'll test that a bit later. With that, let's try a more demanding game and see how it handles that. Ooh, okay, so with Battlefield 5 at 1080p high settings, that CPU is working a lot harder than the graphics card. That's interesting. I wonder how much, okay, never mind. I wonder how much of that is due to the memory configuration. I'm not sure how much of an effect a single channel laptop RAM configuration has on a desktop system's performance. So I'll drop a full kit in a second, but first, I think we should try another game. Wow, the power draw on that CPU is very low, considering the 100% utilization. Now, it isn't a K variant of the CPU, so unfortunately we can't overclock it above 4 gigahertz. But considering that we're creeping up to about 70 degrees Celsius, there's not a massive amount of headroom left in the cooling solution. Okay, so I've been running the game for about half an hour and temperatures are fine. The CPU has topped out at about 73 degrees Celsius and the GPU is in the mid-60s. Honestly, all things considered, I was expecting a hell of a lot worse. But having said that, let's play around with the RAM configuration and then try and make it explode. Now, in order to see how much the single stick of laptop RAM is kneecapping the performance of the system, I'm gonna drop in this dual channel kit that runs at 3200 megahertz. It's double the RAM and it runs faster, so let's see what difference it makes. It's really annoying that you have to remove the graphics card just to change out the RAM under there. Oh, lift it out like that. Now this is the RAM that it comes with as standard. It's a single 8 gig stick running at 2400 megahertz. So hopefully the slightly less stupid memory configuration will help out a little bit. I guess this is why they used laptop RAM on this motherboard, because spacing is a problem. I get it, use laptop RAM to compensate for your terrible layout. I'm really curious to see what that's going to do, because this does seem suspiciously like one of those thermal management via RAM kneecapping situations. This GPU mounting is really terrible. Is that in this? It's stuck on, come on, because it's, okay, there we go. I think we're making, yes. Okay, there we go. I think it's in. That is the most OEM pre-built reassembly process ever. Wow, that's made a big difference. So this person has been running this system for years with a single 8 gig stick of laptop RAM in it. And it really makes me wonder how many people are currently running single channel laptop RAM configurations in desktop gaming pre-builds. That is a sad thought. granted, we do have more than 10 degrees higher temperatures on the CPU now because of the RAM upgrade. So again, I was kind of right with the whole thermal management situation. Well, I guess the last thing left to do is see if we can make this PC explode. What I've decided to do was drop the most powerful graphics card I have that'll fit in this case, which is an RTX 3080 Ti. Now, for those of you with functioning short-term memory, you'll remember that this PC only has a 450 watt power supply in it that we can't upgrade. And considering that trying to power an RTX 3080 Ti with a 450 watt power supply is a little bit like trying to power a Tesla with a AA battery, it may not go very well. But I'm hoping that the CPU in here will bottleneck the graphics card enough that it won't want to draw enough power to just explode the PC. So let's see if that works. Otherwise, we'll have to underclock and undervolt the graphics card. But basically, we're gonna find a way for this to work. So let's drop that in there and see how it goes. This case is pretty much the worst case condition you can run a Founders Edition RTX 3080 in, because this fan on the back is gonna be squished right up against that. So that may not go very well, but again, I'm counting on this just laptop RAM powered 7700 to keep this graphics card in check enough that nothing explodes. Whoa, that is near as makes no difference flush with the back of the case. I'm so sorry, big guy. Okay, well, let's hope this goes okay. Now, taking it one step at a time, let's see if it starts. That's a good start. Hey, we've booted into Windows with it. It's drawing a lot of power, but we're okay for the time being. Ah, there it goes. No, there it goes. We're definitely gonna have to throttle it. It's actually not turning back on. Maybe the power supply tripped. Let's see. No, it didn't. That's concerning. Going by the smell down here, I actually think we killed the power supply. So the most important thing here is that the graphics card's fine. So let me quickly plug it into a system and see if it's okay. Okay, I really hope this still works. So let's flip that on, and then that is a fan, and we've got a signal out. Yay! So the graphics card's fine. That's good. Now we need to go see what happened to the PC. Now I've put the 1070 back in the system, and maybe it works with this. Let's see. Oh. It's not firing up with the 1070 in it either. Oh no! I killed it. It's the 3080 Ti was too much for it, and the power supply just committed harakiri. It just died. Oh no! At least the 3080 Ti is fine. That's the main thing. But let's open up the base and have a look at the power supply. It smells like PC death down here. I'm not gonna lie. I can really smell the PC death. Take this off. Yeah, it's dead. I killed it. FSP, you clearly didn't design the power supply in a way that it'll protect itself, because it didn't. Although this was definitely extreme negligence on my part and, you know, me shifting blame, but still, I feel like it shouldn't just have died like that. But on that note, let's quickly open it up and very carefully have a look inside. Now it is very dense, so it's difficult to have a close look in all of the nooks and crannies in here, but I actually don't see any obvious damage in here. Then again, I don't really know what I'm looking for. It was a very anticlimactic power supply death. There wasn't even a pop or anything, it just switched off. But it's definitely dead. I did also try and power it up without a graphics card in it or anything, and there's no power going from this into the system. Like, something catastrophic happened. And with that, I don't really know what else to say other than I am a PC murderer, I guess, and I am extremely glad that 3080 Ti is fine. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel. Maybe consider watching another video where I don't destroy a Prebuilt. A suggestion will pop up in a second. And until the next video, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.